Yeah, it's a workshop, right? Richard. Here's the sister out there cooking as well. What's that name? There's a sister out there cooking too. Oh. Leave the doors locked. I don't know what I did there. Leave the doors locked and she wants to come back in. Go live again.
Everybody stand for Yahusha's prayer. Facing the east, and for his son. Read after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodesh Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Waka, Tabah, Ratasawaka, Aya Aisha, Ba'ataza, Kawahaya, Bashamayim, Nathan Manawa, Nakam, Kayawam, Wasalakna, Kawakna, Kasalakna, Kawakna, Wala'a, Kabaya'ana, Manasa Yawan, Abba, Awishayao, Manrai, Kayalaka, Amalawaka, Walamya, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us of our debts. As we forgive our debtors. But lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Hallelujah. So, welcome to another two disciples of Christ's Passover. At the table we have kahan, General Yashabi, kahan, Nefertari, Kadar. All right, so let's go on with the book of Genesis, Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So all the people that decided not to show up for the Passover and created excuses for why you're not here, the Most High don't forgive you for that. This is a very, very important event. Because everybody knows the Passover is now in this day and age. Who's the Passover? Or what is the Passover? Mashiach is the Passover. So it's no longer about the lamb, because he became the ultimate human sacrifice. So he became the sacrificial lamb. So he is the Passover. So everyone that doesn't attend this event, you're disrespecting the Mashiach. He is actually the Passover. So let's do that. Let me get you started at the top. Let me tell you this. Everyone that's celebrating Easter Sunday, what they did in the Bible, and the king, Zach needs to sit down. He should be running around like this. Don't drag him out of order. So what they did is they deleted the word Passover from the Bible. If you look at the King James Bible, it says Easter. That word that should be there is Passover. Now, to everyone that's accustomed to celebrate Easter Sunday, can someone tell me when was Hamashiach crucified? What day was it when he was crucified? Saturday. He was crucified on Saturday. It says, anyone knows the precept? We just read it. We just read it in the ninth hour. In the ninth hour, he gave up the ghost. We just read that. So in the ninth hour, he gave up the ghost. That means it would have been the high afternoon, or what you call the evening. So they tell you they celebrate Easter Sunday because he rose on the third day and it was a Sunday. So if he was crucified on the Shabbat, he was in the day, over 3 days after he raised it on a Sunday. Makes no sense. No sense anymore. So I got that precept. What were you?
Book Leviticus chapter 23. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be.
Oh no, we read that Luke first. Someone got the Luke? Who read the Luke? You got the Luke chapter 7? It was also in Matthew. It's in all of the Gospels. The hour that he gave up the ghost. We just went over this. Not even a week ago. This is why it's good to highlight these things in the Bible. It's something about 6 hours, 9 hours. Right when I find it, find it. You got it? No, that's a puzzle.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 27 and verse 45. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour, the Yahusha cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say,
Sure. That's like Hebrew. What do you mean, Eli? Eli. Lama sabachthani. What does that interpret to? Father. Why hast thou forsaken me?
that is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
book of Leviticus, chapter 23. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Yahusha and say unto them, These are my appointed feasts of Yahweh that ye shall proclaim as holy convocations.
Okay, a holy convocation, what does that mean? And the word holy in the Russian word Kodesh, it is Kodesh. Kodesh means holy, that means set apart. But the English transliteration for Kodesh is set apart. That means you're supposed to be set apart from everyone else. Yeah, you know.
They are my appointed feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day is the Sabbath of solemn rest.
So do we do the Shabbat based on the moon? Well, why not? Which day was the moon created? Fourth day. So if the moon was created on the 4th day, how are people using the moon to keep the Shabbat? Because think about it. They didn't show war like all the other high holy days. You use the moon to show war to come up with the high holy day. But the Shabbat, the Most High rested. He created the moon on the 4th day, but on the 7th day, which is the Shabbat, he rested. No work wasn't allowed, no cooking, no cleaning, no wine, no selling. He rested. Not because he was tired, because that's what he ordained for himself as a day of rest. But, you know,
a holy convocation.
So the word convocation means gathering. So it's a holy gathering. You know,
ye shall do no work therein.
Read that part again.
Ye shall do no work therein.
So you're not supposed to be working. So if you go into your boards and say, this is a high holy day for me, you're supposed to give you the day off, especially if you're proclaiming it as a religious day. Right? Because anything else will be a violation of the constitutional rights. So you would have to be able to show that it was essential to work on that day and it would affect his business, which most cannot.
It is the Sabbath day of Yahweh in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of Yahweh, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month, at even, it is Yahweh's Passover.
Okay, hold on. We got a problem here. Because there's a certain people going around that's telling you that the first month is a different time of the year. I won't say who they are. Y'all know who they are. But according to the scriptures, this is the first month. The Passover is the new year. There's certain people that celebrate New Year, but it's a different month. But it said the first month right there. So this month right here is the beginning of the year. This is the first month of the year. Not in January, in the dead of winter, when there's snow everywhere. Read that part again.
In the 14th day of the first month, at even, is Yahweh's Passover.
Did that not say the first month?
That's the first month.
The first month. So the first month is not January. Now,
and on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
So these are two high holy days. People want to link them together. So today is the Passover, and the next 7 days thereafter is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which means you take all bread out of your home. So those of you who don't get that, you're not supposed to be eating anything with yeast, baking soda, anything that causes anything to rise. So there goes the vast majority of your cookies, your cake, your bread, your pancakes, all of that is supposed to be out of your home. This is why we're eating this. This is unleavened bread. Why we eat unleavened bread? Because it had to be made in haste, and there was no leaven put in it. When the children of Israel was going out of Mizraim, Egypt, so they left in haste. So we ate unleavened bread with our Lord's garment and our boots on, ready to flee Egypt. Yeah, you know.
In the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto Yahweh, 7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
7 days. It says it right there. So this doesn't mean that you, oh, no, I'm not going to eat bread. You're supposed to eat this for the next 7 days. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. So only you're supposed to have this in your home right now. Make sure. We get them, go to a Kroger, go to a Whole Food, they have them there. Unleavened bread next 7 days. It didn't say how much, you just eat a piece every day. Just eat unleavened bread. Okay, read on.
In the first day, ye shall have a holy convocation.
So the first day, which is the day which the Passover, you have a holy gathering. In the last day, you're supposed to gather again. Okay, read.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Not supposed to be working. You're not supposed to be at work. Oh, I can't come. I got work. Praise be the Most High. I'll come to the next one. Roger that. Most High will deal with you. Get in an accident, totally wreck your car. And you think it's just someone should do. Total wreck. That's the Most High. That's judgment. People don't understand where judgment comes, man. Like this guy who you was on the phone with me tonight. That guy, Billy Howard, the debate that we had with him this morning. Yeah, the most High, he didn't even get the ritual. Yeah. What do you have?
Can't make excuses with this. Either for the Most High or not. We already announced that Passover was going to be done what, November? Something like that, so it's been a minute. So all of us that weren't able to make it, shame on you, and most of us are deal with you. It's one of the highest holy days in all of the scriptures. Yahusha passed away for you. You can't make a weekend, a day for him, sundown to sundown. It's a man's shame.
Judgment's coming your way, man, according to the Bible.
Verse 9. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of the harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it.
See how we're next to back there.
Verse 8. But ye shall offer offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days, and the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheep offering of the first fruits of your offering of the harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheep before Yahweh to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And ye shall offer that day, when ye wave the sheep, a he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yahweh.
So this lamb is not supposed to have, the Most High always wants your best. It says without blemish. A he lamb without blemish. The Most High always wants your first. That's why the firstborn always get the inheritance. In a man's lineage, his firstborn gets his inheritance, not his wife, according to the Bible. Why? Because his son is responsible for the women in that family life. So it's the firstborn that has a responsibility to take care of the widows and all of that, and the lineage. This is why, when we read in the book of Joshua, when men were going to war, it shows you to name them after the house of their fathers, not after their mothers. In this system, they flipped everything around. Everything's topsy-turvy. Yeah, we don't.
Verse 13, and the meat offering thereof shall be 2 tenth deals of fine flour mingled with oil.
See, that's this is. There's no leaven in it. It's not going to say anything about leaven. We don't.
And an offering made by fire unto your house.
So the Passover is not supposed to be baked in an oven. It's supposed to be cooked over open fire like we're doing outside. You got Jason, I have to keep on that roll by myself. I don't do it. You baking it in the oven. Let's go against the scriptures, man. The scriptures don't say that. It tells you to cook it over open fire. And you don't save anything for the morning. So everything has to be eaten. I've been in Negroes' cribs and they'll be laying salad and all that the next day. I said, yo, aren't we supposed to have this? They said, well, some of our neighbors live good. You ain't supposed to have that. I'm also going to bring curses on you. It tells you not to say anything for the next day. It tells you burning the fire. Okay, you know. Or some brother trying to order me some lamb tea. He's making everything out of lamb, man. I said, lamb tea? I was, yeah, they're trying to. Lamb tea, huh? You know they when they take that deer, they make everything out of deer jerky over that. You start to go, you're making everything out of the lamb. For the whole family, they finished it. Got it.
Offering made by fire unto your house for a sweet savor, and a drink offering thereof shall be of wine.
So that's the wine we got. Now, some people drink. I don't drink. So the drink is you'll see on your table. One of them's alcohol. Like this literally has alcohol in it. That's wine. That's non-alcoholic for me and the children. Or all of you drinkers can drink that, and as soon as you pull out, you get pulled over. You better have a designated driver. Then
The fourth part of an end. And ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn, nor green ears until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your supreme Elohim. It shall be a statute forever throughout the
so a
generations.
statute means a law. And it says forever. So you know, the only people we gotta keep that up. We in captivity. Read that right there.
It shall be a statute forever.
Oh no, but we ain't gonna do it because we're not in Israel. We didn't get it.
It shall be a statute forever.
Why they not doing this in the church? Why they not doing this right here? How can they read the Bible and not see this? Go ahead, read it.
Throughout your generations,
That means forever. That means every generation, in order to keep it throughout your generation, the children are supposed to be here like this so they can teach their children. See, that's how you straighten the community out. You pass it on throughout the generations. Gotcha.
in all your dwellings,
And all your dwellings. Every one of your dwellings is supposed to be keeping the Passover. Gotcha.
and ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheep of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh. And ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 tenth deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruits unto
So this is a different holy day. This is going into the first fruit. So we can start right there. Now we're going to Exodus. We're going to Exodus, the 12th chapter. The first fruits is a different high holy day. Anyone know another name for the first fruits? There's a different name for it. He grew up, his face up. Looking at the boxes, like you want to take those now. He's going to get up. another name for the first fruits, man? Some of you brothers ain't got it. What's another name for the first fruits?
Mashiach.
There's another name that we refer to first fruits. Look it up, someone Google it. First fruits. What's another name? It's always going by a different name. Shalom. Stop that. You know they got a separate, you know that. They want to have the separate, you know that. Just look right in your separate. Okay. Hey, bring it over here, please. Go ahead. Yeah, just from the top of it.
In the Exodus, Shemot, chapter 12. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Mizraim, Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, Yahusha, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of their souls. If the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out of from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Yahusha Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take the blood and strike it on 2 side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor salted at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the persons thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remains.
Okay, so we see that nothing's supposed to remain until the morning. So read that part again, Yeshua, that last sentence.
In book of Exodus, Shemot, chapter 12, verse 10. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning, ye shall burn with fire.
Okay, so we burn it with fire. Nothing stays until the morning.
And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye
So the Lord is guarded, like that, show your staff at the time, and your staff in your hand. So your Lord is guarded, that means you have a girdle.
And ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahweh's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Mizraim, Egypt, this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the Amahans of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it in a feast unto Yahweh throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Seven days shall you eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. Yahusha. And in the first day, it shall be a holy convocation.
So the first day is a holy gathering.
And in the seventh day, there shall be a holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. So I'm going to read that again. No manner of work shall be done in them, save and except that which every man must eat. So you're only cooking to eat on this holy day only. Verse 17. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in this selfsame day I have brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever.
So what do you say about everyone who's not here at the time? Based on what he's reading here from the Surah.
You should go ahead and eat it in the day that it's prepared. You shouldn't make enough that no one else can, that you have leftovers, basically. And also it says here that you should guard it with your loins, your shoes, on your feet.
And with the guard, like this.
Your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is your house. You don't take no time with it. That's right. You're trying to get out of here.
So, hey, Rich, I'm gonna cook a spot. They gonna start coming out. You still see it?
Verse 18. Verse 18. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses.
So, everybody get that? See, that's the part right there. I'm telling you, man. You'll get people that have spirits on them. And you can tell us some of the this. Knowing the Passover is coming up, they're going to buy something leaven, bring it in the home. That's Satan, man. That's Satan. If your woman's doing that, that's Satan. That's Satan trying to come through her. I was already praying. Well, why are you going to some more? You can get this out that's already in it. You understand what I'm saying? Read that part again, man. It's not supposed to be in your home. There's a reason for this because you're going to be tempted. You might just pick it up on instinct and forget it. Off the face of 11 bread.
Verse 18, in the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no
So
leaven.
the 14th to the 21st, you're supposed to be eating that, those matzahs. Unless you can make your own. You know, I used to make my own. Go use some flour, do some onions in it. That means make it a little tasty, make it harder. Right.
For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation.
So if they're doing that, we're not supposed to deal with it anymore. You know, so as he can't go eat. You know, call what you ready to eat, no? They said they're cut him out of the congregation. It's right there in the scriptures. John, I'll give him a pass. Don't get no pass. The scriptures say you don't get no pass. Cut him out. He's gone, man. What about that, man? They're not teaching this in churches. But we all want, man.
Whether he be a stranger or born in the
Doesn't
land.
matter. He's a Nicholas Carefoot. You see Nicholas Carefoot eating bread, we don't deal with him anymore. That's what it's saying, whether he be a stranger or he was born in the nation. You cut him off. No, why can you bring that spirit into the nation?
Ye shall eat nothing leavened.
Nothing.
And all your
You
habitation.
know what you need to do? Start looking at the ingredients. If it says baking soda, baking powder, yeast, leaven, all of that makes things rise. You can't eat it. You're not supposed to eat it. It's going to make you unclean.
In all your habitations, ye shall eat unleavened bread.
Come. The bonus one of them things that is over, man, once you hit that one. Wow. I'm glad he's only 6 minutes away.
Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel, Yahusha, and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb, according to your families, and kill the Passover.
So you're only supposed to get a lamb for the size of your family, right? For the people that you're with, you're not going to eat it all because you're going to have to throw it out. You're not supposed to keep it. That's what you see him the next day, he eat lamb. He eat lamb on bread. Yeah, make a lamb sandwich. No, he's not supposed to eat. That's a lamb. The bread is this thick, like a hunchback. He said, no, I ain't gonna go back in. He's like a hunchback. What? That's how they do it. That's how he was doing it. That's how he was doing it in Carolina, man, bro.
Verse 22, and ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and 2 side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. For Yahweh shall pass through to smite the Egyptians. And when he see the blood upon the lintel,
So how come we're not doing this anymore? How come we're not looking at posts for lamb blood?
Because Hamashiach became the sacrifice for them.
The animal sacrificial war is done away with. So when we get that in the book of Hebrews, that's the one law we don't keep anymore. It's the law of animal sacrifice. Remember, Aaron, the high priest, and his sons used to go to the altar and offer a sacrifice for the forgiveness of sins. But that's the only law that was actually done away with. Was the sacrificial law, killing an animal for forgiveness of sins. Because what they started doing is they would sin deliberately, and then they would go to the altar to ask for forgiveness. So if they sin, they go sacrifice an animal. So the Most High said, I don't want your sacrifice anymore. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So we done away with the law of animal sacrifice. So we got that? Let's bring it up.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 1. For the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually, make the comers thereunto perfect. Verse 2. For then would they not have ceased to be offered, because that the worshipers, once purged, should have had no more conscience of sin, But in those sacrifices, there is a remembrance again made of sins every year. For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared. In burnt offerings and in sacrifices for sin thou hast had no pleasure. Then said I, lo, I come. In the volume of the book it is written of me to do thy will, O supreme Elohim.
So the body that was spoken of here was the one that they call Christ. When he say I come in the volume of the book, he's telling you he's not just the so-called New Testament. He's talking about the complete Bible, the Torah and the Tanakh, the volume of the book, meaning the whole Bible. Because a lot of Christians say, well, we only got to follow the New Testament. The Old Testament is done away with. He said, I come in the volume of the book. That, you know?
Verse 8, above, when he said, sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings and offering for sin thou wouldest not, neither hadst pleasure therein, which are offered by the law. Then said he, lo, I come to do thy will, O Yahweh. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second.
Okay, he took away the first so that he could establish the second. What that's talking about? He took away the first Passover, which was that sacrificial lamb, and he brought Hamashiach to establish the second. Right?
Verse 10, by the which we are sanctified.
So we're sanctified through the blood of Hamashiach.
Through the offering of the body of Hamashiach.
The body of Hamashiach. So that's the new Passover. Right?
Once for all. Verse 11, and every priest standeth daily ministering and offering, oftentimes the same sacrifices which can never take away sin.
So a lot of priests are still trying to do the old sacrifice of that lamb. They say, well, this is for forgiveness of sins. They walk in the post with lamb's blood. We don't do that anymore. Hamashiach replaced that.
Verse 12. But this man, after he had offered
this man, Hamashiach, Yahusha, okay?
After he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of Yahweh.
Now he sits at the right hand of Yahweh, Yahuwah. Okay?
From henceforth expecting till his enemies be made his footstool.
He said, come and step out here, I'll make your enemies your footstool.
For by one offering he hath perfected forever them that are sanctified, whereof the Ruach HaKodesh also is a witness to us. For after that he had said before, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith, I will put my laws into their hearts.
The heart that he's talking about is not the heart of your chest. It's talking about your mind. So you're going to have the whole. Does everyone know that the Pharisees, they were the orators of the Lord? They had the whole Torah memorized. So he said he's going to write it in your mind. You're going to know all of the laws. 613 commandments. Which one did you part to that? They don't teach you about the 10. There's 613 commandments. Which one did you part to that?
And in their minds will I write them.
See that?
And their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. No, now where remission of these is, there is no more offering for sin.
So there's no more offering. See that? You can't take an animal to the altar anymore and ask for forgiveness of sin. All right.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, if he replaces the first with the second, why is it exactly that you are still wanting to eat the lamb?
Well, we still keep that, but it's not for forgiveness of sins. So remember, the lamb, we will go to the altar and ask for forgiveness of sins by slaughtering the lamb, right? Remember, when Most High tested Abraham's faith, and he told him to take Isaac, that was symbolic to him sacrificing the animal. But he wanted to test his faith, so he wanted him to do his own son. And he told him to put down the knife. So the way for forgiveness of sins back then was to sacrifice an animal, right? But now it's not. It's just asking for forgiveness and sinning no more. That's what they call mercy or grace, right? See, people want to make grace be, oh, I don't have to do anything. I'm under the grace of Christ, right? But like I said before, a grace period, if Nepatali owns a car dealership, and I go and I buy a car from Nepatali, and he tells me, well, your payment is due every first of the month, but I'm gonna give you a 5-day grace period, right? So if I don't pay on the 5th, does that mean I'm still in the grace? No. He's gonna come and repo the car. So it's the same thing with Hamashiach. The grace was that the whole world wasn't destroyed, right? But now he gave you life, but you still can't sin. You're gonna be judged for your sins, otherwise there will be no judgment. What's the point of judgment if everyone's under grace, right? Why is there a judgment? Because the grace was only for a period of time. And that was for us to be forgiven of our sins. But now we have to be born again, right? He said, no man can make it into the kingdom unless he's born again. Where's that? Yakanan, 3rd chapter? Someone get that real quick. Yakanan 3, verse 1.
So I have a question. So when Hamashiach was here, and was he going to Passover? I mean,
Yeah, that's what he was crucified.
Oh, okay.
He was crucified on the day of Passover. That's what I just started on.
Okay.
The book of Yakanan, chapter 3.
So the reason you don't understand is the Passover, because they refer to it as the Last Supper, but it was a Passover.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The book of Yakanan, chapter 3, verse 3. Yahusha answered and said unto him,
Sort of from the top, so you can get the context.
The book of Yakanan, chapter 3, verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus.
Now Nicodemus, he was a high priest. Nicodemus was a Pharisee, very wise. You know,
A ruler of the Jews.
he was a ruler.
That's the same thing to Yahushua by night.
So he didn't want to be like the other Pharisees. He believed on Hamashiach. So he came to him in secret by night. God,
And said unto him, Rabbi,
be the master. The word rabbi means master, teacher. That's why the scriptures say, call no man rabbi. You know,
we know that thou art a teacher come from Yahweh.
yeah.
For no man can do these miracles that thou hast doeth, except Yahweh be with him. Yahweh answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Yahweh.
So unless you be born again, you can't see the kingdom. And that don't mean just water baptism. You got to be born by the washing of the water. So look at the Ephesians 5:23. See, water baptism doesn't save you. Because every single one of you in there, those children that's been baptized by water, you see them in the club the next week. They still are sinning. That changes nothing on you. You have to be born again right here. It's spiritual. That's what saves you. That's what he meant by born again. You say what Nicodemus, watch what he said. Watch what the fool Nicodemus said. So this is man was a ruler. Come on, fool. But my child say, no, fool, it doesn't mean like that. I'm speaking in parables. But he was a baby in this. Okay. Someone have that Ephesians 5:26, 5:26. So like,
Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 26. That he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of the water with the word.
okay, read that again.
By the washing of the water with the
So
word.
now water baptism, but what is the water?
The word.
Washing the water of the word. What's the word is Bible?
Repent.
That's the truth. The Bible, the word is the truth. Christ is the truth. So look at John 17:17. John 17:17. So washing the water by the word, that's how you're born again, by learning this word. By learning this word, you're born again. You're washed clean. But now you're cleansed by the washing of the water and the word. So when you learn that, so now you're cleansed by the washing.
The book of Yaganon, chapter 17, verse 17. Sanctify them through thy truth.
So what's the truth? Watch this. Sanctify them. So how do you become a saint? What is a saint? Someone that's holy, that's set apart. Sanctify them with thy truth, that
Thy word is truth.
thy word is truth. What is the word? The word is Yahusha. Yahusha. Let's get it. Let's get John 1 verse 1. In the beginning was the word, and the word was Yahweh, and the word was with Yahweh. The word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. So the word is Christ. That's the word that was in the beginning. He was back there with the Most High in the beginning. When he said, let us make man, it's talking about God the Father, God the Son. He was back in the beginning. Let us make man. Very.
Book of Yaganon, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the word.
See, in the beginning was the word. What is the word? The word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. It's talking about Christ. The Most High, Yahuwah, he never came to earth. But Yahusha did. He walks amongst men. Right?
And the word was with Yahweh.
See, the word was back there. What is that talking about? So we keep in the beginning, let us make man. Let's get that. What was that? Genesis 1 and 26. Let us make man. Let's see what this word that was with the Most High in the beginning was.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And Yahweh said, let us make man.
Okay, we're getting it back to him. He said, let us make man. We chose again. It makes sense.
And the word was with Yahweh.
Give it back to the time, right?
Yahweh said, let us make man.
Okay, so who's the us? It's God the Father, God the Son. Yahuwah Yahusha. Yahweh Yahusha. The word was with him from the beginning. So he was always there. That's why it says the world was created by him. He was in the world, and the world was created by him. That's not talking about Yahuwah, because no man's ever seen Yahuwah, but we see Yahusha. Yahusha. You see what I'm saying? He created the world, but he came to earth as a man. So man can return to being the Most High. Because he's making the image and likeness in Genesis 1:26. Right?
And Yahweh said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
So man in his proper capacity has dominion over everything. Court system, police system, man is sovereign over everything. It's right there. He's supreme over everything. The only thing that's higher than a man in his proper capacity is the Most High, his Son. That's it. Everything else is subservient to man. So this is why they want to take you out of this capacity and make you a citizen. Because you're not a man. You're not a man. You're a human being. And the word human being is a monster. So you don't want to be that. Because a monster can't inherit any property. Yeah, King.
So Yahweh created man in his image, and in the image of Yahweh created he him. Male and female created he them.
So who was created in his image? Go back to John. Give it back to him. Go back to God.
The book of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the word.
So that word is Christ.
And the word was with Yahweh.
So we'll get into John 17:17. It should make more sense than that. Not the 17:17. The book of John, chapter 17, verse 17. Sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth. Thy word is truth.
So the word was with Yahweh in the beginning, was Yahusha. So it means in John 17:17, Yahusha also is what? Word and the truth. The word is truth. Very different.
Sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth.
we go with that sanctified, you know. You come to saint?
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone get Psalms 148. Psalms 148 and 15, 14. Let's see what the saints are.
Oh, yeah. From the Psalm, so hard. 148. There we go.
Shoot them.
The book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Asherah.
Kahan. So all of his saints is Yasha Allah. Those are the saints of the Most High, Yasha Allah, meaning the children of the Most High. Those are the only people that can be saints, according to this. It says all of his people. Notice the contextual words that it's using. It's using a personal pronoun. Read that again. His people.
He also exalteth the horn of his people.
It didn't say the whole world, it said his people. That means he has a particular people. What it says the warrior, man, you only have idolatry of all the children of the earth. So we got that, man. The warrior of 7 and 6. He favors a particular people, man. That's what it is.
Book of the warrior, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy supreme Elohim. Yahweh supreme Elohim has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above what?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Read that again, man.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
But why does the Bible read like that? This is what you should be asking yourself. Why would the Most High create the entire world and choose a specific people? Because that's what's going on here, again. Read that again.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So what this is saying, attorneys, is that he's chosen the nation of Yasha Allah above all people on the face of the earth. Is that not what that's saying? We're not interpreting anything here. So look at Amos 3 verse 1. Amos 3 verse 1. So it looks like he's dealing with particular people here, man. And the only way that anyone else will come through is to come through to these people. That's the only way they're coming in, man.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Yashar'Allah, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Tazadaq, saying, you only have a...
Who did he know?
Yashar'Allah, the children of Yashar'Allah.
You said it didn't say the whole world. Read it again.
You only have I known.
No, he do the whole world.
You only have I
No,
known.
he loves everybody.
You only have I known.
It's right there, man. You put yourself, man.
Of all the families of the earth.
No. You gotta be reading that wrong. You gotta be reading that wrong.
I'm reading it right. You only have I known.
That's what he loves everybody.
That's
a right to what you told me when I was a little boy. You love everybody.
You better tell him he a drum speaker.
You didn't read that part to me, man. How come you didn't read that part to me, man? Go back. He skipped over these precepts. Wow. I'm starting to feel a little special now, man. Yeah.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Oh, so we're special people. Why we don't last higher than first fire? Right there, that last question you read right there. Right there.
I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's why you're in captivity. Just read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and Leviticus, the 26th chapter. It tells you. From verse 15 on down, it tells you why you're in your conditions, man. All right, let's go back to Exodus, man.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, go back to verse 23. For Yahweh will pass through and to smite the Egyptians.
Word smite means kill. Word smite means kill. He's going to smite Israel, the Egyptians. Read on.
And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, Yahweh shall pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you.
You guys ever noticed that every Passover, people start dying all around you? Because the Most High knew they wasn't going to keep this high holy day. You're not walking the door of lamb's blood anymore. You're not attending the post, so Most High got something for you, man. He's going to put some stuff in your life, man. He's not going to pass over you. And he doesn't always get you, man. Sometimes he get the children, he'll get the loved ones, he'll get the parents. That's how he works. That.
And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee.
An ordinance, man, of Lord. That.
And to thy sons forever.
Forever. I ain't gonna do it this year, top guy, I get next year. That's what they said. That's what they said. And I get next time, huh? What kind of thing? Well, brother, all right. You're gonna feel worse when the Most High jack your behind up.
And it shall come to pass when ye be come to the land.
They're gonna be like the people at the time of Noah, Jeremiah, trying to get in the ark. That's it, man. We was just playing. Remember Noah's ark, man? Noah said, listen, man, how long you going to preach there? They gonna remember? How long they going to preach there? For years. What was it, about 40 years, something? I can't remember. I don't want to miss one. I think it was 40 years. He fell in the ark. I said, well, get this fool building the ark in the middle of the desert. Don't tell something, yeah, it's going to rain. It's going to rain. They laughed and they get married. Then when they finally started raining, they said, oh man, it's just a little shower. But it kept raining. And it kept raining. And then they started banging on the ark to do it, trying to get in. But it kept raining. And it rained so much, the water started to rise and lift the ark. Then they wanted to get in and cut. That's what the prophecy said. It says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So that's how the second thing is going to be done. People are going to be out partying, man. So I can't make it. Then all of a sudden, Mashiach's going to be trying to say, here. He's going to go and knock on the door, and a black woman's going to call 911. Say, there's a black man here trying to rob. It's going to be most hot. It's going to be a hot Yahusha. He's going to jack her up, man. And the 911 voice. Because they're not looking for that image. They're not looking for the image that's mentioned in the book of Revelation, 1:13 and 14. They're not looking for that. They're looking for Caesar Borgia. They're looking for Nicholas Careful. You know what I mean? What? Something like that? So I thought you guys were looking for the new thing.
Yes,
Oh, you got it?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 6. That Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in and his sons, and in his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of the clean beasts, and of the beasts that are not clean, and of the fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth.
And stop for a second. Because another Bible reader will pick this up. Now, why would it say clean beasts? The Levitical law hasn't came up yet. We're in the book of Bereshit. This is before some Levitical laws of Moses. How did Noah know which beast was clean and unclean? See, God was mind of the thing. It said the clean beast. How did Noah knew which beast was clean and unclean? You see what I'm saying? The Most High was dealing with Noah, and he walked with the Most High. So he already knew clean from unclean. You see what I'm saying? The Levitical law, the laws of Moses hadn't come up yet. This is Genesis, meaning the beginning. They got the Greek word. That's a Greek word. The word Genesis is a Greek word. The proper word is Bereshit, the Hebrew word.
Okay. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two, and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as Yahweh had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. And in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth.
So how old was it?
600.
600. All right, so hold you down right there. I'm gonna go back to Genesis, when the Most High commanded him to go ahead and do this. So further back in Genesis, you got chapter 5, verse 32. After Noah was 500 years old, Noah followed Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So after he followed them, immediately after, the Most High commanded him to do what Kahan Ali was just reading. So it was about between 90 and 100 years that he was building and warning people, about what's what before it came. So from his age 500, after he already followed his children, that's when he was given the commandment, and he came in the 600 years.
Yeah, I thought it was 120 years he worked on it.
No, so right after chapter 5, it reads that the Most High Spirit's not going to be with man. So I'll go ahead and bring it out. That's Book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 3. And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not abide with man forever, for he is flesh, his days shall be 120 years.
Okay.
So that was putting out how much, how the longest we're going to be able to live. Because he was 500 years old at this time.
Okay. So I also remember that it never rained before that flood. It was like mist over the land instead of rain.
No, I don't really got that one, dude. I'm gonna have to show us precepts on that, man. That's not scriptural, man. You're trying to bring Dr. Chicken Wing up here. I don't eat chicken. I'm a vegan. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat Kool-Aid and cornbread. No, thank you. He's putting his own job.
All right, back in Exodus chapter 12. So we're going to go down to verse 26. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean you by this service? That ye shall say, it is a sacrifice of Yahweh's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Yashalah, Israel, and Egypt, Israel. When he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their heads and worshiped. And the children of Israel went away and did as Yahweh had commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they.
Got anything cut up?
I have a precept on
Bring it up.
it's the book of Luke, chapter 22. The book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 19, 18. For I say to you, I shall certainly not drink of the fruit of the vine until the reign of Yahuwah comes. And taking bread, giving thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying, this is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Likewise, the cup also after supper, saying, this cup is the renewed covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. What that was referring to. I know this chapter is also the Passover. I was trying to read into this.
Yeah, that's symbolic to his body. I say he's telling like the way that's symbolic to his body. You see him doing it, right? Yeah, they call it communion. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's what it's symbolic to Passover. Was that 2017?
It is 18, yes.
The book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 18. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of Yahweh shall come. And he took bread and gave thanks and brake it and gave unto them, saying, this is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me. Likewise, also the cup after supper, saying,
So this just proves what we've been saying, that he's the Passover, right? Because he's saying, do this in remembrance of me. So this is symbolic to his body being the Passover, not the lamb anymore. But you're doing this stuff in remembrance to him being sacrificed as the Passover. Better.
likewise, also the cup after supper, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you.
So that wine is supposed to represent the blood of the Messiah that was shed for our forgiveness. Right?
But behold, the hand of him that betrayeth me is with me on the table.
Now he's talking about Judas.
Verse 22. And truly, the Son of Man goeth as it was determined, but woe unto that man by whom he is betrayed.
Judas. Yeah, you know.
And they began to inquire among themselves, which of them it was that should do this thing.
Doesn't betray mean to hand over? It just means hand over to hand the person over.
Yeah. And so it was battling about who's going to be the best at the there was a debate about who's going to be in charge after the Mashiach. See, those are the big roles coming out of the book.
Verse 24. And there was also a strife among them,
See that?
which of them should be accounted the greatest. And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. But ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief as he that doeth serve.
So one of the things that was customary was to wash each other's feet on the Passover, to teach men to be humble. So they was washing each other's feet to humble themselves, because everyone wanted to be great. God, read.
For whether is greater he that sitteth at meat, or he that serveth? Is not he that sitteth at meat, but I am among you as he that serveth. Verse 28. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father hath appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yahusha Allah.
Everybody see this doing this, still quoting.
Verse 31. And Hamashiach said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art covered, strengthen thy brethren. And he said unto Yahusha, I am ready to go with thee, both into prison and to death. And he said, I tell thee, Peter.
And he was lying. And he was lying. He lied. And he was the first one to betray Hamashiach and the Jews. Denying him. Yeah, King.
And he said, I tell thee, Peter, the cock shall crow this day before that thou shalt thrice deny that thou knowest me. And he said unto them, when I sent you without purse, a scrip, and shoes, lack ye anything? And they said nothing. Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. For I say unto you that it is written, must yet become accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end. And they said, Yahushua, behold, here are two swords. And he said unto them, it is enough.
Okay, this is coming out of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. I think this one is so important because each and every one of us here have something in common. We all do have to give up the ghost. Nobody's actually on this planet to stay forever. And this is actually our final conclusion. This Passover, to me, has so much to do with this particular verse here. And it starts, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. This is one of our commandments. This is one of our statutes that we must partake in. This is something all of us are supposed to partake in. All this other stuff that America has sold each and every one of us, there's no reward for that where we're going. You know, they don't tell you to look up the American statutes, and the Most High Yahweh says, how you been doing? And you start to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, that means nothing up there. So that's why I say when you come into this knowledge, this is the conclusion for all of us. Is to follow every commandment and every statute and every law that the Most High gives each and every one of us. That American flag ain't necessary where we going, bro. All praise be to Yahweh. Hallelujah.
Just to add to that, as far as statutes, Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, Yaakov, his statutes and his judgments unto Yasha Allah, Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as far as his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh.
That's why they commit sin. They don't even know what sin is. They just live out their daily lives. They don't know this shit. They don't know what.
Let's get Numbers 15:38. Show people where they're supposed to have on fringes. It's easy. If you're not, you're breaking the law. 613 laws. Which one would you put? Numbers 15:38.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speaking to the children of Yahusha and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generation, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
There's talking about something like this. But it's easy to see these are fringes. There's a ribbon of blue. So it's supposed to wear this by throughout your generation. And wherever you go, you're supposed to have these on. That
And it shall be unto you a fringe, that ye may look upon it.
so people are supposed to be able to look at this. Oh, wow, that's an Israelite. That's someone keeping it going. Otherwise, they're gonna think you're Muslim. Because they just almost the same way. The fringes is what separates them. That
And remember, all the commandments.
so the fringe is also supposed to stop you from sinning. When you look down at these fringes, it's supposed to say, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Because it's supposed to be as a remembrance to keep the laws. And
Remember all the commandments of Yahweh.
that's some of them, all of them. Stop eating shellfish. Stop eating lobster. Stop eating crabs. Stop eating pork. Tell them what to eat. Yeah, sure. Who got it right there? What can I eat? I'm turning into skeletal. Yeah.
And do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart, and
So that means you don't follow your own mind. It doesn't follow. Follow that your own understanding. Trust in the Most High with all thy heart and soul. Yeah. Let's get that. We finish that. That was according to 22 and 12.
not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring. What was the whoring?
Book of Deborah, chapter 22, verse 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the supreme Allah with all thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Let's get Jeremiah 17, verse 5.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 5. And thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh.
So when you start reading number there for support, your mind has departed. Your mind has departed from the Most High. It's a curse to the man that trusts in man. You put your trust in a man. You don't put your trust in the Most High. Most High said that man is cursed. So that's what he was doing. That's all we can start eating.
Yahusha was, meditating, not meditating, but meditating on the Passover, thinking about would you pass away for this world? Put yourself in the shoes of Yahusha. And if you get the book of Luke, he's like, can you take this cup away from me? I think it's what it is. He's contemplating, like, I'm really going to get this.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yummy. Yes, Hey, put the camera on the side of this, brother. Everyone has to pray.
Everyone has to let it change. It's quite bad between them.
I got you one of the legs, you gotta do it solid.
Luke chapter 22, verse 42.
Bring it up.
This is the book of Luke. I'm going to read it. This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 39. This is Yahusha going away to pray by himself. And he came out and went as his was wont to the Mount of Olives. And this Tazadaq also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if ye be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. So he was contemplating, do I really have to die? Do I really need to pass away for the sin that he washed away on this earth? And then he couldn't snap back saying, nevertheless, not my will, and not my choice, it's your choice, thy will be done. Verse 43. And there appeared an angel unto them from Shemaim, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. And his sweat was as it was great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer and was come to his Tazadaq, he found them sleeping for sorrow, and said unto them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation.